The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply. Alright, so yeah, this is the Flogcast. Fyfie joined by Dan.
Hello, little Fyfie.
Haduken.
Bonjour.
Penal.
Guten Abend.
And
Sorry, I didn't hear you down there. Can you repeat?
and Teach.
Deutschland, Deutschland.
Turn the SBS
channels. I just thought I'd get into the groove of the World Cup. You know that Germany won. So
Nazis won. Under Kaya Haya. They did it for Hitler.
what about that dickhead from Malaysia? The politician that said "Long live Hitler" on his tweet. What a fucking idiot! But anyway, congratulations, Germany, for the World Cup win.
And I don't know how to segue from that, but we will. We'll go to Hawthorn against Adelaide. Everyone was doubting them, Penal, yet they got across the line.
That's the story of our season so far, like getting written off by everyone, with Sydney and Fremantle being the so-called top two sides at the moment.
Hang on. We all tipped Hawthorn to win last week. We did. So
yeah, he wouldn't know because he wasn't here.
No, well,
no,
you should have seen the fucking so-called experts on the TV. You know, all the commentators were tipping the Crows.
Well, like experts like BT.
Sam Lane.
Oh, those poofters.
2 minutes.
All of us here tipped Hawthorn, and you didn't even show up last week.
That's because you guys aren't like fucking retarded, like Tom Harley.
Thank you.
Speaking of retarded, we'll go to probably the most noteworthy thing about that game, which was Razor Ray and the siren.
It's a retarded
yes.
sound.
It was a retarded sound, yes. That he did or didn't hear. No one.
Razor went full retard.
He did go the full retard.
He
said, "There's a retarded sound here." That
That's a good umpire, Jenny.
Penal, can I confirm that was Luke Bruce who had the ball, who was about to kick a goal, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and he still hadn't at that point kicked 30 straight or 29 straight or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, I think at that point he was on 29. And
so Razor
30.
Ray actually ruined that for him.
Moral record?
Yeah, moral record for Bruce.
You can blame the umpires like Plugger.
Razor Ray fucks up a lot of things, so...
I think in the record books they'll have obviously Plugger next to Bruce, and then they'll just say Bruce was robbed by a retarded umpire.
that was bizarre. It was like the reverse siren gate.
You're probably going to get a call from Suze about that one, actually. But
oh yeah, you're in trouble.
Take a hard look at yourself.
Was that a horse?
In the mirror.
You might get clipped. It's not pleasant.
Yeah, clippity clop, clippity clop.
Anyway, what else have we got on that?
Gunston tore the Crows a new one. He was good.
Yes, and didn't they go boo? Boo. How long ago was it?
Hawthorn were easily the best side on the night. And it was actually a really, really good game of football to watch.
it was reasonably close.
Probably the best one of the round still.
Yeah. We all
As of
tipped
expecting.
Hawthorn to win, and they did it. So good on the Hawks.
It's pretty free-flowing, exciting football on offer. And obviously the Flogcast favourite, Sean Makers, had an excellent game.
Good.
And Segler and McAvoy are firming as the best ruck team in the competition.
All go.
Goo,
Oh, big
goo, goo, goo.
Segler and McAvoy, best ruck in the competition.
What did we?
You're stretching a bit much. I mean, I let you have the shot makers, but
yeah, just think about that sentence, and then go and have a really good hard look at yourself
in the mirror. What did we think of the Eddie Betts pocket?
what the hell were they? They were dressed in yellow. I thought they were away Hawthorn supporters.
Yeah, against Hawthorn. He's been there for 13 games, and they've named a pocket after him.
It's Adelaide, man. He's the most exciting thing they've ever seen.
Well,
they are clutching at straws.
No, it's a fair point. It is Adelaide. I mean, they've got a wall of champions where they've got a guy who played one game for them in 1996 or something.
Yeah, it does feed into the Port Adelaide argument of no history, no culture, no identity or anything. Like Eddie Betts has a pocket.
To be fair, if Eddie Betts had crossed over to Port, the Port fans would have seen his shorts and been like, "Wow, we can use them as bay covers."
Yeah.
They might need the bay covers out at Port Adelaide soon if there's nothing else on Hawthorn Adelaide.
Can you hear the sound of the Port faithful dropping off in droves?
Yes, I can after that, because second week in a row that their intensity's been not there for most of the game. They are not the same side that started the year, and the wheels are falling off, and maybe the fans will disappear too.
Mind you,
I'm sorry, I'm waiting to hear a pin drop, because who among the Flogcast last week tipped Richmond to beat Port?
Penal did, but he wasn't on.
It was me!
Fucking listen to Flogstradamus over here.
Actually, it's not that hard to pick up. I mean, we are entering Richmond's most dangerous part of the season. You know, they are out of contention. They have nothing to play for. It's time to storm home and give everyone some false hope for next year. This is what they do.
And boy, isn't Tiger Boys buying it.
Storming towards ninth.
Yeah, ninth beckons.
All they're doing is securing worst draft picks.
I know,
so...
it's just ridiculous. We still won't finish in the top 10. But...
So you were disappointed with the win then, Fyfe?
No, I was happy with the win. We beat a good side.
Well, it sounds like you want to finish rock bottom last.
St Kilda's got that one all sewn up.
Yeah, and you don't want to be a Melbourne and...
I just don't want to finish ninth. Take anywhere else.
I guess this result is just testament to what Sue said about Richmond, and good things happen when you don't play Chaplin in defence and play him where he's supposed to be, up around on the ball and
he wasn't
in the forward line.
How was the jumper grabbing when
he was close enough?
I don't know, but it enraged a few. It's spawned a few meltdowns, which we might come to later.
He had his own sort of Matt White moment. Speaking of which, he kicked a hell of a goal.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was actually a really good game to watch.
I enjoyed it. Revolt 20-3.
It was entertaining.
Did you go?
Of course I fucking went. Not teach here.
No, the white goal is goal of the year.
Bontempelli has it sewn up.
No. Well, it's between Bontempelli and White, but I reckon
it depends. White. It depends on what you want. Bontempelli's gets extra points for being the match winner, but White's was just. It's all preference on that. Did we lose someone?
I know you mixed this up.
Oh, actually, Tyler's got a little thing on his.
Oh, come on, Teach.
Jeez, Teach, fuck's sake.
Let's just move on while Teacher's on mute. No, tell him we did the Geelong game while he was gone.
What else have we got on the Richmond Port game? Look, the Port are a bit concerning. They've dropped out of the 4. It wasn't that long ago they were clear.
Do we believe their excuse that it's the old heavy training load? That's apparently the official line.
They can use it for one more week, but if they lose to Melbourne...
they're not going to lose to Melbourne.
Surely they can't lose to Melbourne.
Stranger things have happened in this competition.
Yes, they just lost to us.
Yeah, they're not as bad as Melbourne.
I don't buy the heavy training load at all. You can use that as an excuse 1 week, but 2 weeks in a row, it's not a coincidence. It's some serious bad signs starting to creep in.
And even if it's true, you're just playing with fire with your form there by losing too many games. You're going to,
Well, yeah, and they may not get back into top 4. Once they're out,
that's a stupid excuse. You don't hear Hawthorn saying that. I haven't heard Fremantle all year say anything like that. Even when they were winning, Ross Lyon was having a crack at their team. I mean, yeah. So, it's a crap excuse. Something I expect one of the Scott twins to say.
He's not here. Teach ain't here. Although Dan is.
But Dan would agree with me. Oh, I would. Yeah, Ben nodding.
Port still have to play Sydney and Freo in Perth, so they will struggle to get back into the top 4. I reckon this might have been the season for them.
It's between them and Hawthorn, I think. that last spot in the fall?
I don't think so. I think Geelong, with their concerning use, are a lot more vulnerable than Hawthorn are.
Who did Geelong play in the run down? Do they have anyone
North,
particularly
I think.
difficult?
No, they played Melbourne.
No, who they are playing in the run home.
They got North after the bye, I think.
And Hawthorn.
We still don't have Teach, though.
We still don't have Teach, no.
Yes, Teach went all BT on us, and we had to let him go.
Yeah. Which was foreshadowed during the week by one anus.
He's been suspended and got
Indefinitely.
on for counselling.
He's gone to give Ian Thorpe a hug.
I think we'll move on to, well, Essendon getting over Collingwood has just thrown the 8 into shitness. Who fucking knows now? There were 2 results that really did it. This is the first one.
It's not really a question. It's simple. Collingwood will not make the 8. They will not.
If they lose to Adelaide, they will not make the 8.
And they will. And it's because they are complete crap. They're shit. They're beyond shit. They actually are a little... Like, you could get a ball of shit, roll it down a hill, it would land in a bigger pile of shit, and it still wouldn't be as shit as Collingwood.
I think a bit harsh. I think I said at the start of the year they were mediocre and they'd finish, somewhere between 10th and 12th, and it looks like it's coming true. They're just...
I never thought they would make the 8 this year. Under Buckley, they are just slowly, gently drifting away from consideration. And it's going to take Eddie another 3 years to figure it out and finally fire him. And then it'll take them a good 3 or 4 years to rebuild their list with whoever the new guy is. I Collingwood, see you in 2022. Bye. That's all
I doubt Purplehead would have the guts to fire Buckley, to be honest.
I like the irony in an Essendon supporter talking about having the guts to fire a coach or not knowing when to fire a coach.
I enjoyed that too, yeah.
Who would we fire? We're winning.
I know, it's amazing. You're winning in July, and Carlisle's playing well up forward. It's almost as though you've got a real coach for once.
Carlisle playing on, seriously.
Nick Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did help. Well, that's the reason why Carlisle broke the Essendon club record for marks in a game. On a normal opponent, he'd still be all right. But
Maxwell went to take his usual opponent of grass, so that left Carlisle also on grass. That's why he took so many marks.
That's completely true, to be honest. But, this is my...
So another Essendon record has an asterisk beside it.
I mean, relying on...
My little goo moment here is that, I know I had a certain thread backfired a little while ago. You forgot, didn't you? And, it appears that both Port Adelaide and Collingwood have forgotten. So I'm just, keeping an eye on that one. See how we go. Make the 8, maybe knock a few more people off. Could be that the backfired.
Look, the Kool-Aid's well and truly out, because I literally heard Robbo ask on 360, ask Waitley, can they win the premiership?
What did Jared say?
He paused and said, no.
No, I don't understand that. He's more interested in horses than football. We're a dark horse, just a little one, little tiny. Right, we won't. But I'll tell you now, whoever we get in the finals won't want to be playing us. There'll be more attractive. There will be more attractive sides to try and beat, like Gold Coast, for example, or North.
That's if Gold Coast actually make it. They've dropped off the ball.
Well, I reckon that Collingwood are the ones that drop out, and then one of Adelaide and Gold Coast would be the other one to round out the 8, because North will stay in, Port will stay in.
North might make the 4 with Port.
They've got a cushy draw.
They could. Geelong. So that's another chance for Hawthorn to drop out. Is that what you're saying?
So
yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. And teachers bandwagon.
Hawthorn are a lock for top 4. Just let's put that out there. If Hawthorn don't make the top 4, I will come on here and fucking take a bet, and you guys can make me do something, which can be determined at a later date.
How about sing a song?
Yeah. Fucking something reasonable, like fucking sing the Sydney song or something like that. That'd be
something that what song we got?
Goo.
Gasly.
Something gooish.
My Heart Will Go On.
I don't think any of us want to hear that though.
Actually,
I could rewrite the lyrics to My Heart Will Goo On.
Yes, okay, yes, that'll do.
We haven't had any singing on here since Penal was on.
No, because he gave us Rick Astley and that was it. That was the deal. Anyway, do we have anything else on Essendon and Collingwood?
Sad Joffa. How awesome is Sad Joffa?
Apparently, Fig Jam sent a message too. I heard this on the radio, but apparently Fig Jam sat Cloak on the pine for 10 minutes in the third quarter because he was shit, and he subbed Young even though Maxwell was shit and injured.
See, this is why Buckley is a useless coach. It has nothing to Cloak. The ball never got near him. It's because their midfield was bad. Like, this is a midfield that lost to our midfield, which doesn't have Watson or Goddard, right? So our two best midfielders aren't there. Pendlebury, Swan, Beams, all of these so-called good players are actually just roided up junkies, right? Can't get the ball from our second-tier people.
And you had Fletcher back, who got dropped the week before for, he was brought back for sentimental reasons.
Fletcher will get 400 games. Essendon will pretty much do anything to get there.
They will push him out there in a walking frame if they have to.
Yeah, if he got suspended for 2 years, they'll just bring him back at the end of that to get those last, what is it,
No,
8 games.
His contract and send him to France.
True. He could do some management training, come back and...
Actually,
what we do is we wait, because by then we'll get his son in, and he can be like a first father-son to play.
You won't see him wearing bike shorts. You'll see him in those adult diapers or something underneath the shorts.
Has Essendon asked for a pensioner card and get like a pensioner's discount on the salary cap or anything like that?
We could go and talk to Jack Rewalt about the Mikey discounts and stuff as well to get around.
Anyway, on that note, we'll move on to... Well, Gold Coast slipped to 9th on the back of the Dogs.
No Gaza, no Suns.
Yeah. Come on,
They
man.
get to win without him.
Some goo.
These were missing their best player as well, but you don't see us bitch and complain.
Yeah, we were missing
Your best player versus their best players.
our best three.
I was going to say, Ryan Griffin to the Bulldogs is just as important as Ablett to the Suns.
And Watson to Essendon. Doesn't seem to matter. Harden up, Suns. You're weak.
I concur. And what a great game that was. I mean, we had a second quarter where we just absolutely butchered it, but all our goal kickers were under 23 years of age, pretty much. I mean, Boyd was the only older player who kicked a goal.
Oh, so, and actually, because he's not here, I know Teach wanted to mention apparently that Hrovat was really good. Apparently.
I know. Well, he was that good that he got the Rising Star this week. So
yeah, and Teach was going to nominate him for that, wasn't he?
Pretty much. He was happy with Hrovat's game, but
he wanted him at Geelong.
Yeah, nothing but glowing endorsements.
It's very disappointing that Teach isn't here, but when he listens back to this, I'd just like to say to him, look at the Western Bulldogs. That's what good youth looks like. Not fucking Geelong. They're awful.
But I think the best bit of play was Bontempelli did that one-handed mark,
that was nice.
kicked it to Stringer, who did a one-handed mark, then that check side kick from Dullhouse. It looks silk. And
I will say, just like Richmond in 2012, it seems that Cairns is going to kill Gold Coast season. And once again, that's 3 out of 4 times now the team lower on the ladder has won there. And the wind was up for a quarter, and that's how you win those games sometimes. The Dogs have a good midfield.
Well, the funny thing is we kicked all our goals against them.
So did they. It was just, but it's weird, still weird conditions though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a terribly friendly game of football.
Actually, both teams played kind of dumb football with the wind, except the Dogs in the last.
Yeah, basically they got sucked into kicking long and
to the loose man or two.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and you have to say Jackson McRae, what a gun!
Yeah, youngest player in history to do it.
2 goals. He's just looking like a superstar.
He won the game as well. Like that game was still on until he got involved in.
And here's a trivia point for you. Basically, if you take his pick back to the fact that he was the Callum Ward pick, Richmond gave up Jackson McRae for Jordan McMahon. Let that sink in.
Ouch.
That's not true because we didn't finish as low as you that fucking year, so we wouldn't have got that pick. We would have got whoever got drafted about pick 9.
Jackson McRae may have actually fell that far because they were saying he was a surprise number 6. So
what year was that?
Let the slow burn.
Sounds a bit like Pendlebury in that regard because he wasn't supposed to go as high as he did, but he can play. And despite...
neither was Bontempelli at force, so they're just looking like some pretty good kids. So I'm pretty happy.
They'll go pretty well at GWS and Gold Coast one day. But what was I going to say?
How much you love Jordan McMahon?
No,
he kicked that goal.
Hey, it saved us from drafting Tom Scully, that's for sure.
You wouldn't seriously have picked Scully though over.
Well, he was a consensus number 1, a bit like Cruiser.
But then you would have got
Bit like Watts.
two kicks. What is it?
Starting to think the consensus number one is just a massive con of the other 17 clubs going, yeah, look how good that guy is. Yeah, yeah. You should pick him. We
No, like
GWS
the
got
number
pumped
one
too as well.
Like, there's nothing wrong with like Watts and Scully. It's just they get fucking.
Sorry,
they go
once
to
again-
Melbourne, or in the case of Cruiser, Gibbs, Murphy, they go to Carlton, and because those clubs have such shit development programs, unlike a club like Hawthorn, the kid's career is just ruined before it gets off the ground.
It is a fair point. Like Tulpas was touted as one of the best kids in the draft, and he's just a piece of shit now.
What I was going to say, McRae responded well to the strong bake he got last week from McCartney.
Second
That's
only
great.
to Rovat. I think Rovat had one out of the box. Really impressed me.
Anyway, we'll move on to North versus St Kilda. Well, St Kilda down the bottom, kicked 3 goals, 15. You can't do that down North's home ground.
No, look, I'm reluctant to sort of say it was a gimme sort of result given our form, but I mean they did it easily, North, and there's not much really to talk about other than Petrie letting St Kilda into the finals.
Actually,
I have a theory on that. Sorry, Ant, what were you going to say?
Just one thing on that game. A big fuck you to Dan Lonigan. Said that St Kilda were ahead of the Bulldogs. Where are we now, you cunt?
Who the fuck's Dan Lonigan?
ABC wanker, who
Oh,
actually
right.
supports the Bulldogs.
That's weird. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah.
When did he say that? Sorry, when did he say
Fuck you, Dan Lonigan.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
you fucking egg, Ned.
that? Serious question. When did he say that?
He said it early in the year. Basically, he said that
Well, we didn't.
St Kilda
None of us said that. We said that.
No, it was after the first couple of wins St Kilda had. He thought St Kilda and Melbourne were ahead of the Bulldogs.
Fuck you.
Drinking pluggers
Fuck you.
Kool-Aid.
There you
And we know you'll be listening too.
go. Just like
Well,
Liberty is.
But on
If
what
Eddie listens, they all do. Come on. Yeah.
and North listened, because on what Dan said about the Petrie predictor, he gave off a handball for a gimme goal
Like-
to a bloke running into the
He
open
did
goal,
that against Collingwood and Sydney earlier in the year, and no one
Trolling.
mentioned it.
trolling us.
Well, yeah, he only kicked 1 goal, so
Yes,
St Kilda are in the
exactly. That's what I
finals.
mean. North are listening, so they're fucking everyone's tips around for lols, as we established last week.
So do you think Petrie's screwing it, the predictor,
Yes,
deliberately?
now Petrie is deliberately giving off goals against shit teams to make it look like they're going to play finals and fuck us all.
Maybe he's betting himself on, who's going to make the 8, and so he's trying to skew the odds. Makes sense.
Hansi Petrie.
But no, that's my theory, and the North Flogs were all over it that St Kilda's going to make the finals now. No, because Petrie is fucking trolling us.
Well, as I said, he did that against Collingwood and Sydney earlier in the year. He dished off gimmies in the goal square.
You don't
and-
do that against good teams, as they said in the
Well,
St
he-
Kilda game.
he-
He was doing that to Lair Eyes, and he was doing it to troll us. So it's got an asterisk
Honest-
next to it.
There's no-
He was
how long
trolling against Hawthorn because he was pretending to be an actual footballer and he kicked 5 goals.
No, he was just
It was a
playing.
massive troll.
He was just playing on Lake, and he knew.
Yeah, Petrie has always had a good day out on Lake. He's just one of those players that Lake can't match up on.
Like clangers on Hawkins.
Like Clangers on anyone, really.
Yes, well,
Hey, Clangers was good last time he matched up on Hawkins.
we've got Teach back, I think.
Yeah, shut up, bitch.
What the hell happened to you?
Oh, don't ask. I mean,
Don't ask.
But I'll
please.
tell you
Tell us
The
anyway.
toilet?
there's a couple of dead bodies out in the backyard. I just had to kill some people who were trying
It
to
couldn't
keep,
wait. It couldn't wait.
They were trying to keep me off the vlogcast, and so I just had to kill them. And so I've got to get off. I've got to get off quick because I've got to get them into the rubbish bins and out into the street.
Barrels off to South Australia.
Well, we've already covered the Melbourne Geelong game.
Yeah.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
No. But we
Oh.
put in a good word for Rovat for you, mate.
Yeah, we did. We said you had nothing but nice things to say about his performance.
It's true.
He was fucking shit out.
And we mentioned how you're so happy you got the Rising Star nomination this week.
Are you serious? He got the Rising Star nomination?
Of course he did.
It's a start.
Oh, he fucking sputtered it up so bad. Jesus, I mean, I was the one. I was the one who tipped the Bulldogs to beat the Gold Coast. None of you did it. And then Rovat goes out there and he just spuds it up massively. And luckily, the Bulldogs got over the line.
Anyway, we will move on to the game we're up to now, which is West Coast beating Brisbane.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
Nobody
what a-
cares.
They got there in the end, but only just, and I can't think of
Pat-
anything notable out of that game.
Didn't watch the game anyway.
Yeah, not a bad game actually. Not a bad game, but it was a game against two sides that aren't going to some clients. What the fuck is that?
It's Robat's Rising Star video. I thought you might want to hear it.
It's your fucking player. It's fucking shit. If you want to play that, if you want to play a highlights reel, good luck to you. Oh, turn the fuck off, will you?
Teacher's just confused. He's been watching Geelong for so often he's forgotten what good kids look like.
Yeah, nothing else on West Coast Brisbane. Look,
Not a thing.
Brisbane is shit. West Coast beat them. That was about it. It was on the same time as Carlton getting rolled by the Swannies.
Oh, go the Swans.
Geez, did anyone else think 110 was in danger for a while there?
That third quarter was ridiculous.
Yeah, and
Just
Buddy
ridiculous.
Buddy 5 goals in the quarter just went, you're shit.
Well umpired game too.
Oh,
No,
as
it's
always.
beautiful. Yeah.
It's worth his weight in. Was he worth the money now?
No, it's still too
No,
much for anyone.
No, it's still too much. Yeah.
How
Only
about
Abbott's worth anything.
They're gonna get their premiership out of him this year. It looks like though.
Yeah, but the last 7 years are going to be painful.
True.
Or someone could Bradbury it like
I
Sydney
mean, he's
did
not. Yeah, he's
2012.
not going to produce this sort of football for the next 9 years.
I know,
Come
but what Sydney are counting on is the AFL salary cap will go up and up to the point where his contract doesn't mean as much, like the old 10-year, $1 million
Lynch.
contract that Lynch had.
Yeah, it's still
the
have to go up a fair
inflation.
bit to work that way, but
So Mick Melthouse, he deflected what was going to be an obvious loss by saying that Sydney is the best side that he's ever seen.
yeah, he was chugging goo beforehand, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
But he gave up chugging goo at half time because we will go into this another episode in the saga of Mick Melthouse melts. He abused Cameron Ling.
Angry Mick.
Yeah, he turned around and
Oh, what did you do to Cameron Ling?
he was shitty. This is the story. He was
Yeah.
shitty that the coach's box image of him sooking and losing his shit in the box that goes on TV ended up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he pretty much he cracked it at Channel 7, and Lingy was the closest.
Yeah, so he blamed Cameron Ling, the guy the boundary rider was about 4 rungs down from
and
Well,
the...
it's not their fault.
And to be fair to Lingy, he basically said, "Don't talk to me like that."
Yeah.
You know? He told him.
Oh,
put
no,
him back.
he told him.
There was actually another reason, and that's because Lingy actually just won a competition to be more feminine than Christy Malthouse. But other than that, it was a bit uncalled for on the part of Mick's part.
What
because,
a pissy, whinging bitch.
Grumpy
Pretty
old
much.
Silver Fox campaigner of a man.
Yes, you've knocked it out of the park there, Dan.
Isn't
Exactly
it great?
right.
Isn't
Thank
it
you.
great that he's at Carlton?
Yes.
Really?
I've got to just bring up a Flogcast favourite here. Robbie Warnock had an absolute stinker. 2 disposals.
He had a shocker.
2 disposals, 3 frees against for the night.
Is that negative
And-
points?
No, he had like 30 odd hit outs, but even so, he was well beaten in the ruck by Mike Pike, who had 50 something. So why would you play a guy who can't get his hands on the ball and can't even break even in the ruck contest? I mean, he's about as useless as a marzipan dildo.
Oh, thank you,
That's
Josh.
an interesting picture. I just put my head there.
On that note, nothing else to say on that.
Suck eggs.
No.
Carlton,
What else can you say?
marzipan
I think it was
dildos.
just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that's awesome. Marzipan dildos. That's what more can you say about Carlton?
And the last game was Fremantle GWS. The
Yeah.
only thing
Marzipan.
The only thing worth saying about this is that Ballantyne's got himself
quick.
suspended again.
Oh,
Yay.
surprise. Hobbit's got himself in trouble again.
Yeah.
He's a little cunt, but gee, he can play football.
Yeah,
He's-
no one's
he's-
doubting that he can play football, although that Ballantyne thread on the Bay was quite funny. It's like, admit
He's
it, you love Ballantyne. It's like, well,
Yeah.
he's still at Leon Davis medal.
He's the player you love on your own team.
Yeah, but you...
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, the Hobbit.
He's the new Stephen Milne.
Yes, he is exactly the new Steve.
No rape.
I was going to say for less
Well, less rapey.
Less
Yeah,
rapey,
he
yes.
takes his
Less
anger
arrow.
out and violently punching people on the field instead.
Hobbits from the Lord of the Ring would love to have had Ballantyne on their side because all of the other hobbits were just weak little fairies.
Yeah, but they all lived though.
Yeah. But they,
Frodo,
They
Bill-
never got suspended.
Yeah, because it would have been Frodo, Bilbo, and Dildo. You know.
but if they had Ballantyne, have got to the Mount Doom in half the time,
Mount Doom.
and they would have been smacking Hawks in the head on the way. But
Yeah, but then they would have tripped over like Valentine in the grand final last year.
Anything else on Fremantle? Not much else there, is there, really?
No.
So we'll move on to the very first of the talking points, and number one is Brian Taylor, that big poofter.
Oh, jeez.
I actually
Well,
don't think what he
the
said was
worst
that big of a
episode
deal,
is
but he's
the-
such a tool bag that I'm happy that he's getting a lot of heat for this.
Yeah, I'm fucking loving it. Like what he said, I disagree with everything he said, but just the excuse to give him the boot and everyone to lay the boot seems fantastic.
The intent was right. I mean, bag Harry Taylor. Who doesn't want to do that? But the way he
shut up,
did it,
idiot.
the way he did it is just all wrong, and all wrong. And hey, and why didn't Sam Lane arc up? Like, she was right there listening, and she just went, hee hee hee. This is like the moral princess of the AFL. She's
This is why I reckon that what we need to do is change the definition of these terms so that they don't.
You applying the South Park philosophy to this?
Yes. We don't relate these terms to gay people anymore. Everyone likes gay people. We got no problem with gay people, and we need to use these terms that are going to slag off on people to annoying loud asses. Like
I have a suggestion.
Admittedly, though, like that South Park episode, fags use that way, whereas poofter's a bit different.
I was just say I have a suggestion for the word substitute now.
Okay.
Bosk.
See, I like to think what was worse, what he said was the fact he apologised directly to Harry Taylor.
It's
So
just complete
BT just didn't
typical
understand
BT
what
knows.
he's saying sorry for or what he did wrong. He's got no clue.
Yeah, typically has no idea
Yeah.
what's going on. Yeah.
No, Harry Taylor. you fat bosk.
I'm sorry I said you were gay.
Yeah, like I didn't mean to offend you, Harry. You're not a poofter. He's just. An
I mean, you guys, I've got a couple of gay friends, and they
You friends with the cat man?
constantly-
Jeez, go on.
but they constantly refer to each other as they
These guys are going to TM you and say, "Teach, I didn't know you were gay."
Friends with Bosk.
Not that there's
I've
anything
said
wrong
I
with
have
that.
a couple of gay friends, and they constantly refer to each other. They call each other big poofs. Often.
Yeah, but you can't really you
It's
can
like
also
the
say
N-word,
black
man.
people.
But
Yeah.
it's like
It's
Nemo.
their word. It's
all.
their word. You can't take their word.
I know. I agree.
Unless you join him in the spa.
I'm not getting in.
Budgies.
No. But no,
I
I
thought
agree
you were
with
friends.
Haduken, you're right. It's their word, and it's up to them. And
Unless Brian Taylor was actually auditioning. He's got the mustache, he's a bit of the bear,
well, yeah, he does. He's got the big mustache happening there, isn't he?
Wowee, big boy. I could see how he's...
Well, you might be onto something there.
Yeah, maybe he and Bruce have been spending a lot of time together in the commentary box.
It's a very friendly environment in the Channel 7 commentary box. But yeah,
Is it true that as part of the punishment, BT has to send out Christmas cards to the entire Geelong team? He'll be saying happy,
Fuck off, idiot.
have a merry Puffmas and a happy new queer.
but seriously, I got to be honest.
You're part of the 48%, you dickhead.
You just get him to melt and he goes full BT on us.
This is our very own vlogcast and staff. But the thing I will say about that, it's just amazing the timing that Ian Thorpe, who clearly had a very public issue with not being able to come out, was quite struggled with that. The day it becomes news, shares the front page with BT's fucking comment. It's just typical
It was
BT.
very uncomfortable, wasn't it?
He fucks everything up.
Jason Kowalski came out that he was straight as well.
No, but all I know about that is that whole saga. You just heard Razor Ray off in the distance going, "Yes!"
Sorry.
Razor Ray's still hearing things, so he's not completely in the clear.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move on from that, a quote. We get feedback from time to time. Sometimes it'd be better if we got more, but here's one that I have to bring up. If Fyfie thinks BT should be sacked for his comments last night, he's going to have to let Tyler Durden go from the vlogcast. He has made some insensitive remarks about me in the past from the one and only Anus Cat.
I was going to say, how is Anus Cat? As soon as you say Rena, I thought this sounds
What?
exactly like...
So
I'm getting booted.
Yeah, we're gonna have to say goodbye again, Teach.
This isn't fair.
Well, we're a
I'm
team.
the funniest one on this.
Oh.
Only because you make some insensitive remarks about
Maybe
the poster
we
now
could
known
actually,
as anus goo.
maybe we could now actually organise some counselling. Maybe some one time between Teach and Anus Goo. They can sit down and have a bit of a fireside chat
I
about.
reckon
Fuck
leading
that. I'm
teams.
not doing that. No.
I reckon we go leading teams on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
You can stick
Frank
that,
and fearless feedback, Teach. That's what you want.
stick that up your ass. I'm not doing that. No.
What a terrible choice of words.
That's what, yeah.
Thank you for highlighting the problem.
They don't all do that. You know, I mean, this is insensitive. You don't understand them. I do. And no, I'm not taking it. No.
Oh dear.
Stand by anus cat.
The next thing we'll move on to is, well, apparently 12 of the AFL coaches are meeting to have dinner at Gillan McLaughlin's house because apparently Vlad consulted with them over the rules and would just ignore them. So Gillan's extending the olive branch, or much like Carlton extend the sausage at the barbecue as an apology. It's kind of symbolic
We've moved
gesture.
on from the gay thing.
No, this is
We're not done, Scott Brothers.
This is a very casual get together for the coaches.
We're extending the sausage.
So the coaches can have a collective moan about what's going on in the game that's wrong.
Correct, except Bomber Thompson won't be there because there were no sandwiches.
And he's not into sausage.
No.
Or AOD, so he's not going to be there.
But yeah, we do have the top 5 things on the menu at Gillan's. Like, there's a lot of things for them to eat. And yeah, we've got the top 5 on that. So, number 5, Penal.
Barbecue snags for Mick Melthouse.
Number 4, Ant.
Cola for the Sydney Swans. That's 9.8% sugar.
Yeah, their choice of soft drink. Number 3, Dan.
Nice roasted duck for Adam Simpson. Quack.
Number 2, Haduken.
Nathan Buckley will be serving up a lovely little bit of Dane Swan because he's cooked or maybe baked. Don't know, something like that.
And the number 1 thing on the menu at Gillan's, Teach.
Umpiring still shit.
No solution. What's on the menu? No solution.
It's bloody awful. I mean, when they're inside those contested malls, you know, manslaughter and head hacking is permissible.
The other thing is that apparently the war between Sydney and Eddie Maguire continues with who's winning this? Personally, I think it's Eddie.
There's no winners in
You
this
think
shit.
so?
It's just this war of words. Well, the Sydney Swans are sooking. It's all, Longmire can't coach international rules because Eddie's going to be there. And now we've got the Swans president comparing Eddie to Clive Palmer.
Well, Eddie did say that the
That's
president
a lot of
been all
pies, by the
5
way.
minutes. Yet the guy's been on the board for a couple of years. So
Yeah, 13 years versus 5 minutes. He's like, who the hell is this guy?
Eddie's
Eddie's been a
still
flog.
fat, and he's
Yeah.
still got a lot of chins, and it's like it's going to explode anytime soon.
If Eddie is the Clive Palmer of the AFL, then the Swans president is the Tony Abbott.
it really is the old debate that a shit sandwich and what was it, a turd?
Turd sandwich and a giant douche.
Yeah, that whole South Park metaphor.
I think the fate of the cola will decide who wins the war. If it goes within the next couple of years, which it's supposed to, but you can never discount what the AFL might pull out of their ass to try and
Backdoor
keep Sydney
dealings.
ticking along.
But he's angry about the Sydney.
The academies.
Yeah.
Let's just call a fucking spade, right? You know, the AFL just needs Sydney competitive for the TV rights deals, and they're giving them all
Besides,
the help.
Collingwood has the biggest freaking academy system in the country. It's like the prison system. Come on, man.
That's a
But
supporter
you hit
academy.
the nail on the head there, Penal. Like, they need Sydney competitive, just like they need Collingwood to have the best draw and get the best fixtures so they get more money. Collingwood are one of the winners of this flawed system, so Eddie can get fucked as far as I'm concerned.
Anything
Well,
else?
as far as all's we're concerned, but you know, since when is it going to happen?
I would
Well,
like to know
based
who...
on the way his kids look, it hasn't happened in a long time. It's been all Tuvey as far as we can tell.
Which of the two would win in a pieting contest out of Clive Palmer and Eddie Maguire?
Oh, you got
Clive Palmer would win, but Eddie Maguire would talk about it a lot more.
Hawkins would beat them both.
Get fucked. Playoff Hawkins, you dickheads.
Anyway, if that's all on that, and I think it is, we'll move on to the recruit.
Who gets to recruit them? Like, they get a guaranteed AFL contract. Who gets
I
them?
think it's a rookie.
It's
contract.
basically like an Irish deal. So
But
it doesn't come under
which-
even a position on the list.
Which
Yeah, but-
club?
AFL pays
Yeah,
salary.
which club gets it?
They bid.
Oh, right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if no one bids, I think the Giants get stuck with them. Just around the table before we start, do we think whoever wins this will play a game? Senior game?
Well, I think that's
Real
the
game.
only way this show will have any credibility is if the
Pretty
winner
much.
actually debuts.
Yes. And
But surely they wouldn't, like, I mean, the clubs would be like, oh, yeah, that's nice, but they're not going to chuck someone on their list
well,
in a
someone,
serious game.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends
if they turn out to be okay, there are players who've come from there. It's just whether these ones are good enough.
If Carmichael Hunt can get a game of football on Israel Folau,
Do you reckon they can put
Yeah.
someone together well enough? Well, I mean, I don't, like, these are all meant to be older
Yeah, that's
players.
true.
aren't
How bad could St Kilda's in pretty ordinary shape? This could work for them.
I reckon.
Yeah,
I
actually-
reckon Ant's right that if Israel Folau and Carmichael gets a game, I reckon this guy's going to land up in either GWS or Gold Coast.
Well, he couldn't be much worse than anyone on Carlton or St Kilda's list.
You're probably right. You're
Hey,
probably
if they
right.
get someone tall, they could take Warnock's spot.
There's a big responsibility in taking this player because you need to turn him into something. So I can't
Guys,
see
whoever
Carlton.
it is going to be troll bait on Bay 13 next year.
Yes, I can't see Carlton or St Kilda taking them because they'll just go, no. We've got our own recruiting crew and we've got everything
Pelican will
lined up.
probably take him.
Oh, shit.
Pelican will go, oh, yeah, I reckon there's untapped potential. And, you know, St Kilda still have Ray Stanley. Come on.
He's like an albino Warnock.
Who can run?
Yeah.
He's the world's
I was gonna
fastest
say,
potato.
I was going to say, Warnock is the world's slowest potato, and
Tallest potato.
Have you ever seen like Stanley try and take a contested mark? It's like a sweaty octopus trying to unhook a bra.
you got the one-liners tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
sweaty off.
Hawthorn need to win more often this week on the Bay, throughout the week.
Come on, it's got to be the Monopoly.
Monopoly.
The Richmond
Yes.
version.
Monopoly
The Richmond
Mark
edition.
Yes.
I am looking forward to the goo edition of it.
I'm looking forward to the Goo edition too. I was hoping you'd do it next, but it's not.
Blugate never trolls his own.
That's why I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how he does it. I want to see if he goes full out and puts goo on the board.
But
he's
knowing
big
him
enough-
to do go on
he's
the
big
board,
enough
it'll make it
for
back too
Hawthorn.
long.
He's big enough to do a Hawthorn edition. But he has got a lot of other fodder in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
It's
You
the
can-
Hawthorn.
For the like Hawthorn fucking board, you'd have like your chance card would be Brian Taylor fucking verbally abuses 48% of you guys. Receive counselling or receive a hug.
Free goo.
Community chest, pay $300 for repairs to the coach's box wall.
Yes. Oh, nice.
So you
You pay your
buying
lawyers
this already?
$200 for an injunction.
Yeah.
That's what prison have to be. Prison have to be injunction.
Something about
Everyone hangs on to see
like,
who gets to be.
something about I mean, prison would have to be Buddy having his what was his sore butt or whatever when he was suspended for being on 3 strikes.
Yes.
It was a butthurt injury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not to mention, in fact, there is also
It'd be
the
just butt hurt.
there is also the subtle prestige of where you actually get placed on the board. Wouldn't you agree, Fyfie?
Oh,
Oh
yes.
yes, it's
Yeah.
nice to be Park
Definitely.
Lane or Mayfair.
Haduken,
Yeah.
Mr. Park Lane himself.
Mr. Mayfair, thank you. I mean,
Oh,
Zach,
Mr.
Zach
Mayfair.
came in at Park Lane.
I beg your pardon.
This is
And,
up, yeah.
Oh, well,
And-
that's good.
Fyfie also Mr. Mayfair.
I would be happy with anywhere other than Cheap Street.
Oh, and I love the placements of those.
So,
Placements of some
so that
Tiger
thread's
Boys and
probably the
Jades,
best one.
Bombers and Mr. Aaron, I think it was.
yeah.
And strategy.
Yeah.
Bombers was in jail, or sorry, Bombers was not convicted.
Yeah, that's going to be my best one. I love that one.
Anyway, thread of the week. I think we're pretty unanimous.
Sad Joffa was good too.
Oh,
Sad Joffa.
Sad
Joffa.
Joffa was good, yes.
He was very sad too, was Joffa.
As was Eddie.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Fuck.
Same amount of chins.
Flog of the week.
That robot weirdo.
Rest.
is it?
Rest.
Yeah.
Rest.
On it, once again, honourable mention to leg end.
He's got to win one of these
Yeah,
days.
He does. We just got to keep throwing his name.
Keep working, son. Keep working. You'll
So
get
people
it.
remember
Leg
it's
end,
Flog of the
seriously.
year time.
I'd go with Atlee again, the stupid prick.
Yeah, we could give it to him because he begged not to be mentioned again.
What's happened to Jaden? Has he fallen off the face of the earth again? Or-
Cancelled his
probably
account after the lawyer debacle.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so I'm guessing we're giving it to Rest.
Best, yeah.
Yeah, Rest broke. He needs
Yep.
a new chip
Go
inserted.
back on your bloody meds, you.
Get back on your meds, Rest.
Well, I have to give him some credit. When he went on the porn spree on the main board, at least he picked some decent quality stuff that I had to delete.
What, it wasn't Cthulhu?
Yeah, delete / save to your hard drive, you mean?
Dude, there's a thing called the
He,
internet.
he just he didn't delete it. He just moved it to the mods board.
No, the porn board that Sue's asked for Sweet Left Foot's thread to be moved to.
Yeah, that was hilarious. There was a thread that Sweet Leffel put up on general discussion, and Sue's reported with the comments, "Can you please move this to the porn board?"
The porn board.
And my response to the report was, "Chief, how can you let Sue's in the porn board and not us?"
Funniest thing was it was like a bestiality thread.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're kidding, aren't you?
No, it's on general discussion. I'll post the
That
link.
No, I don't want to know about it.
So that
It
puts
was
a whole
it was a news item. It was a news item.
Have you-
But she
because,
wanted to move there.
because Sweet Left Foot is mad at him now, and
There's nothing in
his avatar is like pigs' asses, so that puts a whole new spin on that.
Anyway, yeah, Flog of the week goes to
Hit him
Rest.
to the-
Amstaff made a late run with all these.
He's trying too hard.
But yeah, he wants it too bad.
Yeah,
He's
well,
probably
he got
front runner for a Attention Horror of the Year.
Yeah.
Tigers beat the,
And you know that's the award no one wants to win. No one wants to be the attention whore and beat Anus Cat. So
Because that's hard. Beating Anus Cat for Attention Horror of the Year is genuinely difficult.
He's like the fucking Ugak at MVP time.
Yeah.
Anyway, where would you rather live? Last week's poll. 6.7% said Seaford. 6.7% said Cockburn. A surprising 16.7% said Geelong. But the overall
get
winner
fucked.
with 70%, the overall winner with 70% was Jack Watts likes Cockburn. And with that, we'll go to next week.
It's all the bids when they have that contest, isn't it? The Cockburn.
Yes.
Ooh.
Sorry, I just went all BT. I'm gonna have to let you go.
I had nothing else to add.
And we're going to have to take you down from the mod squad, and you're going to have to go through counselling now.
Sensitivity training, like you teach.
Yeah,
But at least you'll have a friend.
Bring 2 blankets.
Yeah, you can hold hands, you two poofters. Yeah, next week, Carlton versus North.
Oof.
No, I'm off the North at unreliable this week because after last week when they rolled St Kilda, North.
Well, I resuscitated two of the passengers on the bandwagon.
Just so you can kill them again if they lose.
I am slamming it down into third, and we are going hell for leather. And North are going to just absolutely smash Carlton.
I hope so.
How's
This
Royals?
is the one team I really, really want to beat the living shit out of this year.
It's going to
I
happen,
hate
Dan.
Carlton.
What about Essendon? Aren't they your
That happens.
rivals?
Oh, well, according to some nufties on the bloody North board today, huh?
Yeah, nobody at Essendon cares, man.
Except for Jade.
Yeah.
We
if
don't
the-
care. Let's write 2 pages about
What's
it.
it? Northern Lights. Northern Lights cares a lot, but I don't know why.
It's just some stupid shit fight on big footy. It's not a bloody rivalry.
Yeah.
With this game, if the good North side turns up, they'll win.
By a lot.
Simple by a lot. Yeah.
North will smash them.
Yeah,
Absolutely smash them.
I can't see Carlton winning this one at all, and God, that makes me happy.
It's the only time that
Makes us all happy.
Yeah, it's like, a North and an
love it.
Essendon
We love
supporter
it.
could come together and say, yeah, that's it, North. Kick the shit out of them. Off you go. It's great.
As long as it happens.
Well, yeah, if it doesn't happen, North are failures.
Yes, basically.
Oh, so it's a win-win for you then, Haduken.
A little bit.
You can't lose. Although,
Yeah,
as Amstaff demonstrated this week, sometimes you can.
Yeah.
Surely North have got to win this, although you never know. Maybe after the,
That's the thing. You never know.
maybe after the what we've said tonight on the Vlogcast, maybe Mr. Marzipan Dildo will kick 6 goals and lead Carlton to victory. So you just never know.
I'm
With
tipping
North.
the marzipan dildos because I think that they're going to get up this week and they're not going to crumble.
What
They-
world
they-
did I wake up into tonight?
And North is going to just be one of those weeks where they, don't turn up, and there's going to be plenty of meltdowns to see.
Next game, well, St Kilda Fremantle to Daddy had. Does anyone rate St Kilda a chance?
Oh,
No.
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 Maybe if Ross Lyon rests his whole team again. Otherwise, no.
If they play Peel Thunder and Bootsma.
Is Kaczynski playing?
I didn't actually see the Ballantyne hit. Is he look like he's going to get weeks or?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
He's gone.
Doesn't matter. It won't
Like-
matter. They will.
I know it
They
won't
will
matter, but
murder
if
Fremantle.
you-
It'll be 7 goals to 1.
See, I was
Freo.
going to go a dwarf burning type thing, but anyway.
That's possibly why he got himself suspended, just to avoid
Yeah.
being
Yeah, that's true.
set on fire.
Because he was going to set that game on fire. Yeah, tish. Try to deal.
I don't think anything could set this fucking game on fire. Dwayne Russell's just going to be commentating, and there's no fucking fire starter here.
You know what?
Too boring.
The game could be on fire and it would still be dull.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes,
Right,
that's true. GWS versus Geelong. Does anyone give GWS
No one
a
say
hope?
anything till Teach says something.
Yeah, Teach, you have to go first.
Why?
Because you always go last. So,
It's just GWS teach.
yeah, just do it, okay?
There's going to be like 2 hours of dead air in this. If it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. All right. I'm on Geelong. I don't think
Cats.
GWS will win.
Cats.
And go.
You're not going to beat me.
Just go, Ant. Just go. Okay.
Cats.
think the
Cats
game-
all the way. Go, Cats. We'll fucking smash these bricks.
I agree with Teach. Go the Cats.
I think GWS will win.
Oh, get fucked. I knew you would say that.
I
They're
Yes,
used better as
you-
Geelong's
you
youth just not going to get it done.
I reckon it's
You-
gonna be
you bitch with your fucking silk going on there. No,
Oh, dear.
you're full of shit. Cats are going to win.
Haduken?
I think that Geelong will win probably. Yeah. Although shit, it'd be funny if you didn't.
Port versus Melbourne. Everyone seemed to be on the Port.
Port
bouncing
should
back.
win this, but
Melbourne will win this.
Melbourne can't kick a goal to save themselves.
Melbourne is shit.
Where's
Port
this
to
being
bounce
played?
back.
Port.
Adelaide
Port.
Oval, the former
Oh,
Fortress.
Port.
In front
Yeah,
of the Cubs.
Oh, Melbourne are undefeated there, though.
They are too. No, they lost to Port Adelaide when Port Adelaide nearly won the Spoon 3 years ago.
Right. Okay, never mind that. Port will win then.
Shows what you know, you dickhead.
Get fucked.
Cheap
You're
shot.
still melting there, Teach.
Was that everyone on Port versus Melbourne?
Yep.
All right. And finally, Western Bulldogs versus Essendon. There's this very, very good chance of Bulldogs.
No.
On the back of last week,
No.
Essendon could come the letdown.
No.
Bulldogs could
Essendon are actually we're rolling now. We are
rolling.
rolling
I-
until we
I-
at least till we get to Sydney. Then that could be a bit.
I reckon Nathan Trovat will carry the Bulldogs to a famous victory. He'll get 40 disposals and 5 goals, and he will sink the Bombers.
40 and 5. And Hodgepodge will have a new hero.
Won't be able to
I
say
don't
it's
like
okay.
to agree with.
It is a game of good versus evil, though, isn't it? So,
It is a
I
bit,
don't think
yes.
I don't think the Bulldogs are that evil, man. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Shut up, Haduken.
yeah, shut up, Haduken. Go the doggies.
So yeah, Bombers.
No,
Well,
shut the fuck up,
right,
Haduken.
No one
Gotta
likes
take
it.
some drugs.
Man,
I'm going the Bulldogs. in the
you know
sneak.
this. I know what this is. This is fear. You can see it. We're coming. We're coming.
No. I'm going the Bulldogs in the sneaky here, just as I tipped Richmond in the sneaky last week. And you know what I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm miles ahead of everyone in the tipping. So
Chug his own goo.
Yep,
When
the
he's not
Bulldogs
melting,
in the
he's chugging
sneaky.
his own
Yeah.
goo, his arm stuff.
You're
Go
miles
the
ahead of the
Bulldogs.
tipping because you always change it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that the tipping at the start of the week when you're on the vlogcast or at the end of the week when you change it?
No, I didn't change any tips last week.
So
And,
you're gonna stick with
Question,
Bulldogs
though,
this
is
week.
your lead in the tipping due to you changing your tipping or keeping your tipping?
No, I didn't change any of my tips last week.
Are you one of the
I'm
top senators? You're talking like a politician.
I'm-
Answer the fucking question.
Shut up, dickhead! I'm tipping your fucking team, you dickhead. Shut up.
I'm gonna tip a draw.
Oh, Bulldogs.
I don't know who to tip from this game. It's actually a tough game to tip.
Yeah,
Bulldogs
Bulldogs seem to be running like
Go
late
Doggies.
last year.
Yeah, all right. I'll just go with the Dogs. Woof woof.
Whatever.
I think that's everyone, isn't it?
I think so.
So it's
And
We did the
4-1.
West Coast
Everyone's
Starters.
tipped Dogs.
And that is everything. So this was the Flogcast for round 18. Fyfie joined by Ant,
See you later, guys.
Dan,
There.
Haduken,
Shut the fuck up, Haduken.
Teach,
Stop being a bitch, Haduken.
and Penal.
Let's all pray for Teach as he undergoes his counselling for his fucking massive fuck ups and on-air
Shut up,
gaps
dickhead.
that he's committed.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, and we'll see you next week if we're not all having sensitivity training by that point in time. Thanks,
Bloody
Teach.
homophobe Teach.
Yeah, fucking Teach. He's going to drag us all down.
Leave the
Get
48% alone.
You're
Yeah, get fucked.